Have you ever met someone who felt like they were carved from your very soul, only to discover that being with them was impossible? Picture this: a person who doesn't just spark interest, but awakens every fiber of your being, who speaks the silent language of your innermost dreams, who seems to know the parts of you you've never dared to reveal. And yet, despite this overwhelming connection, you're forced to walk away. The pain that follows is strangely exquisite, and ache so precise, so meticulously shaped that it feels deliberate. Could it be that the universe, in all its mysterious choreography, placed this person in your path not to grant you what you long for, but to lead you somewhere far more profound? Somewhere inward, somewhere transformative. Carl Jung, the pioneering psychologist who mapped the hidden territories of the human psyche, believed there were no accidents in our emotional lives. Every encounter, every heartbreak, every yearning is part of a greater design. According to Jung, when you meet someone who ignites your soul, yet remains forever just out of reach, it isn't a cosmic mistake. It is an invitation and opening into one of life's most potent and life-faltering experiences. This isn't merely about unfulfilled romance. No, it goes far deeper. This is the universe using another human being as a sacred key, unlocking chambers within yourself that had long been sealed. Chambers you didn't even know existed. Think of that person who lingers in your thoughts. The one whose presence felt like a flash of lightning in the middle of a stormy night. For a moment, they lit up a landscape within you that you'd never seen before. Maybe they belonged to someone else. Maybe your worlds were too far apart. Maybe time itself stood as an immovable barrier. Or perhaps, just perhaps, they were never meant to be your partner, but rather your teacher. The rationale. Mind will scramble to explain it, to wrap it in logic. Why did something so right feel so wrong? But Jung would remind us logic is not the language of the psyche. The unconscious doesn't speak in straight lines. It speaks in symbols, in synchronicities, in encounters that crack open our carefully constructed identities. When you meet someone you cannot be with, you aren't simply meeting another individual. You are encountering a mirror one that reflects back the hidden parts of you, the dreams and potentials that have been lying dormant in the dark corners of your inner world. This person doesn't show you what's missing from your life. They show you what's waiting to be awakened within you. The irresistible pull you feel toward them. That's not about them. It's your own unrealized self calling out, beckoning you to grow, to integrate, to step fully into the person you were always meant to be. Jung called this powerful phenomenon projection, and it is through projection that the soul begins to recognize its own forgotten pieces, scattered like stars waiting to be drawn into new constellations. They are not showing you what you lack. They are showing you what you are capable of becoming. The magnetic pull you feel toward them is actually the pull of your own unrealized self, calling you toward growth, toward integration, toward the fullness of who you are meant to be. Jung called this phenomenon projection, the unconscious process by which we see in others what we cannot yet see in ourselves. Is one of the psyche's most fascinating mechanisms. But this particular kind of projection is unique. It's not about recognizing our fears, our doubts, or the darker corners of our personality reflected back to us. Instead, it's about glimpsing our highest potential, our unlived life. It's the most profound yearnings of our soul, made visible through the presence of another human being. This person, the one you cannot be with, is holding a fragment of your own wholeness. They are not here for you to possess, to cling to, or to claim. Rather, your soul's task is to reclaim that piece of yourself that they so vividly represent. It's not about them, it's about you. The depth of your feelings for this person, the way their presence cuts straight through your rational defenses and reaches into something ancient and instinctual inside youth. That intensity is not random. It's a sign, a signal from the depths of your being that something important is trying to surface. This connection is not ordinary. It's not accidental. Your soul is using this moment to shake you awake from the trance of everyday life, to remind you that you are capable of feeling more deeply, of loving more purely, more authentically than you had ever dared to believe. This person isn't here to complete you, despite what the stories might say. They are here to reveal that you are already complete, but perhaps not yet fully expressed. Not yet fully alive to the vastness of your own emotional and spiritual range. The real question isn't, why did the universe bring me someone I cannot have? The real question is, what is this person's presence trying to teach me about myself? What part of your true nature are they illuminating? What dormant potential are they awakening? These are not casual questions. They are keys. They unlock. The door is not just to understanding this relationship, but to understanding your entire path toward becoming who you are truly meant to be. The love that breaks you open is not the love that destroys you. It's the love that dissolves the illusions you've been living under about who you are, about what love should look like, about what it means to feel deeply. When someone touches the deepest recesses of your being, yet remains forever beyond your grasp, you are being offered a sacred heartbreak. This is not about the petty ache of not getting your way. This is not about disappointment. This is the deep soul-level shattering that happens when you recognize yourself in another human being, only to learn that the recognition itself was the gift, not the relationship, just the awareness, Carl. Jung understood that our most powerful emotional breakthroughs often arrive wrapped in the disguise of loss. The person you cannot be with may have cracked open something inside you, something that had long been locked away, maybe for years, maybe for lifetimes. They didn't just make you feel, they reminded you how to feel. They reminded you that your heart is capable of a love that transcends the boundaries of attachment, possession, and control. And here's the truth. This awakening, this soul-stretching pain, is not here to torment you. It is here to free you from the small, comfortable version of yourself you had settled into before this person walked into your world. You may have been living only on the surface of your emotional experience, moving through the motions of love, of connection without ever realizing the depth you were truly capable of. They have reminded you that you are capable of love, that transcends the ordinary boundaries of possession and control. This awakening is not meant to torture you. It is meant to liberate you from the small, safe version of yourself that you had settled for before this person entered your life. You may have been living on the surface of your own experience, going through the motions of love and connection without fully understanding what you were capable of feeling. You may have accepted relationships that were comfortable, but not transformative. Connections that were easy, familiar, even pleasant, but never truly profound. You may have moved through life thinking this was enough, that this was what love was supposed to feel like. Then this person appeared, unexpectedly, unforgettably, and suddenly. Almost without warning, you understood the difference between simply loving someone and being in love with the mystery of existence itself. They revealed to you something far more expansive than affection or attraction. They showed you that love is not merely an emotion that comes and goes, nor a fleeting sensation tied to chemistry or convenience. Love, as they reflected it to you, is a state of being. It is not just a feeling, but a fundamental shift in the way you perceive and interact with reality itself. To love in this way requires a breaking open of everything you thought you knew about connection. And that breaking open is not optional, it is necessary. Because the version of you that existed before meeting them was not vast enough, not brave enough, to contain the magnitude of love you are capable of experiencing. Your heart had to be cracked wide open, not as punishment, but as preparation. As painful as it is, this rupture is the gateway to something more expansive, more vibrant, more real. Like the caterpillar that must dissolve entirely inside the chrysalis, your old ways of loving, of thinking, of being had to collapse. They had to be shattered so something more authentic, more alive, could emerge. Jung believed that our greatest wounds often hold the seeds of our greatest wisdom and strength. And here lies the paradox. The person who breaks you open is not the one who causes the wound. They are the one who reveals it. They don't create your pain, they simply awaken it. Maybe you had locked your heart away after being hurt too many times. Maybe you had decided quietly, even unconsciously, that love of this depth was a fantasy, a risk not worth taking. Or maybe you resigned yourself to a quiet, careful life, convinced that passion and soul-level connection were luxuries reserved for other people, not for you. And then came this person. and with them, the gentle but undeniable unraveling. Their presence in your life is not accidental. It is urging you to confront the old wounds and outdated beliefs that have kept you small. They are not the source of your suffering. They are the mirror that brings it to the surface, so it can finally be acknowledged, felt, and healed. And make no mistake, the intensity of your emotions is not irrational. It is directly proportionate to the depth of healing that is trying to occur within you. You are not being punished by the universe. You are being offered something sacred. The chance to return to wholeness. The love that breaks you open, also tears. Apart every limited belief you've held about love itself, you begin to realize something startling, perhaps even frightening that. Love is not about possession. It's not about control. It's not about demands or expectations or checking boxes on a list of needs. Love in its truest form is about recognition. About seeing and being seen. About being touched not just physically, but soulfully by the mystery that is another human being. The person you cannot be with has gifted you something rare and profound. A glimpse of love untainted by agenda. They have shown you what it feels like to connect without conditions, to be present with someone without needing to alter or claim them. You experienced, however briefly, a love that asked for nothing except your full, open-hearted presence, and that realization is both terrifying and liberating. It frees you from the narrow, transactional version of love that most of the world operates within, the kind of love that clings to comfort but avoids growth, that seeks security over authenticity. This realization is both liberating and terrifying. It liberates you from the small transactional understanding of love that keeps most people trapped in relationships that are more about security than growth, but it also terrifies you, doesn't it? Because it calls you to love in a way that offers no guarantees, no safety nets, no promise of permanence. It demands that you let go of the illusion of control and step into something vast, raw, and profoundly uncertain. You are being asked to love like the mystics love, with complete surrender to the present moment, with total acceptance of what is, no attachment to outcomes, no clinging to future fantasies, no desperate need to hold on. The person who breaks you open is not merely someone you feel for, they are a teacher, an initiator. They are showing you that the deepest kind of love is not about possession. It is not about having someone stay, or about building a future together that fits conventional expectations. No. The deepest love is about transformation. It is about being changed permanently. It's irreversibly by your encounter with them. They are teaching you something essential, that you can love someone fully, completely, soul deeply, and still let them go. But love does not lose its value, simply because it cannot continue. That a connection can be brief, even heartbreaking, still be profoundly sacred. You begin to realize you can be broken open by love and somehow emerge more whole than you were before. They were never meant to be your forever. That was never their role. They were meant to be your mirror, reflecting back to you the pieces of yourself that you had long forgotten, or never fully known. Carl Jung's concept of the anima and animus, the feminine aspect within men and the masculine within women, offers a powerful insight into why certain people stir something so deep within us, why we feel seen by them in a way that defies logic. When you meet someone you cannot be with, you are often meeting a living symbol of your own inner wholeness. You are encountering the parts of yourself that have been buried, ignored, or suppressed. This person embodies qualities that captivate you not because they are foreign, but because they are intimately familiar to your soul. They represent something already alive within you, something that is waiting, yearning to emerge. Their creative fire, their confidence, the way they move through the world with authenticity and purpose mesmerizes you. But it also speaks to a truth you've been holding inside. Their freedom reflects your own trapped creativity. Their self-assurance reflects the strength within you that you've been afraid to fully step into. Their unapologetic presence in the world shows you a life you could live, if only you allowed yourself to become all of who you are. And here's the crucial misunderstanding most people make. They believe they need this person in order to access those same qualities within themselves. They believe that being close to this person will somehow complete them, fill the gaps, activate their own power. But Jung would gently correct that notion. He would say, it is the other way around. You are drawn to this person, not because they hold something you lack, but because they reflect what already exists within you. The task is not to chase the person. The task is to awaken the qualities they represent inside yourself. Your soul's intense pull toward them is not a demand to possess them. It is a signal. It is your own being calling you forward, asking you to step into the wholeness you glimpsed in their presence. They are not your missing piece. They are the mirror showing you the forgotten pieces of yourself that are waiting to be claimed. And perhaps, just perhaps, the reason you cannot be with them right now is not punishment. It is preparation. Because maybe you are not yet ready to meet yourself at the depth and fullness that this connection demands. The universe is not keeping you apart to torture you or to deprive you. It is offering you time, space, a sacred pause, so that when you finally step fully into who you are, becoming, you will no longer need to look for that love in someone else. You will have become it. The universe is not keeping you apart to torture you. It is giving you time and space to become the person who is capable of the kind of love you glimpsed in their presence. Think about the qualities that drew you to this person. What was it that captivated you so deeply, almost instantly? List, mental or written, of what you found most compelling about them. Was it their passion, their presence? It's a fearless way they moved through life? Now take a moment to ask yourself, how might each of these very same qualities already exist within you, waiting to be awakened? The passion you admired in them, where in your own life are you being called to ignite more of that same fire? The courage they displayed, what area of your life is quietly asking for more bravery, more boldness, more truth? They seem to inhabit their own skin. What would it take for you to feel that same sense of wholeness and rootedness within yourself? This person appeared in your life not by chance, not as a random figure passing through, but as a guide, a teacher, not a lover. They came not to fulfill a need, but to reflect back to you what you are capable of becoming. They didn't arrive to complete you, but to awaken the parts of you that have long been asleep. The longing you feel for them is not just about missing them, it runs deeper. It is, in fact, a longing for the fuller expression of yourself. The love you feel is not merely for the person you cannot have. It is love for your own hidden potential, for your path, for the version of yourself you glimpse when you are near them. Carl Jung believed that the journey of individuation, the process of becoming your truest, most whole self, begins with encounters that disturb us, awaken us, or stir something so deep that we cannot return to who we were before. He believed that these encounters are not accidental. They are orchestrated by the unconscious mind, aligned with your soul's deepest needs, specifically designed to catalyze growth, inner integration. The person you cannot be with is playing a crucial and sacred role in your individuation process. They are a catalyst, a mirror, a revelation. Through them, you are beginning to see and reclaim forgotten, abandoned, or unexplored parts of yourself. And yes, it hurts. The pain of not being able to be with them is not just about them. It is also the ache of seeing how much of yourself you have denied, how many dreams you've shelved, how much aliveness you've suppressed just to feel safe. This is not trivial heartbreak. This is the ache of awakening, the agony of expansion, the sacred discomfort of giving birth to a more authentic version of who you truly are. So instead of focusing solely on what you cannot have with this person, begin to shift your gaze. Begin to ask, what is this experience asking me to become? What has it cracked open within me? What light has it revealed that I can now no longer ignore? Mourn the relationship that cannot be, yes, but also celebrate the inner awakening that has occurred. They have given you a gift far more precious than a conventional romance. They have shown you who you could become. They've acted as a living glimpse into your potential, into the future version of yourself that you are now being called to step into. And now, the responsibility is yours. You must honor the gift they offered, not by clinging to the idea of them, but by beginning the work of becoming that more complete, more alive, more integrated version of yourself. Because the relationship you thought you wanted with them was actually a relationship you were meant to cultivate with yourself. The love you felt for them was a reflection of the deep, untapped love you were capable of extending inward. The connection you experienced with them was a connection to the parts of yourself that had been hidden away, waiting for recognition and reclamation. They were never meant to be your final destination. They were always meant to be a guide, an arrow pointing inward, showing you the path toward the person you are meant to become. They came to awake you from the sleep of ordinary living, to shake you out of the comfortable numbness that keeps most people trapped in lives far too small. For the vastness of their souls, Carl Jung understood deeply that the psyche possesses its own unique intelligence, its own agenda for growth, healing, and transformation. Sometimes it sends us people who cannot stay, not to punish us, nor to bring despair, but to serve as catalysts for profound transformations that simply could not occur through any other means. The person you cannot be with is more than just a fleeting presence. They are an agent of your own awakening, a living catalyst, sent by your unconscious mind to ignite and activate potentials within you that have been lying dormant, hidden away in shadow long before they appeared in your life. Perhaps before meeting them, you were sleepwalking through your existence, accenting limitations that weren't truly limitations, believing stories about yourself that were not reflections of your true nature. Maybe you had convinced yourself that you were not the kind of person who experiences great love, profound connection, or transformative passion. You might have settled for a version of yourself that was safe but dull, acceptable but not authentic, functional but never fully expressed. Then, suddenly, this person entered your world and everything changed. Suddenly, you remembered what it felt like to be fully alive, fully present, and deeply engaged with the mystery and wonder of existence itself. You remembered that you are capable of feelings that transcend the ordinary, connections that defy explanation, and a love that has the power to transform everything it touches. They reminded you that you are not merely a collection of social roles, responsibilities, fears, and self-imposed limitations. You are instead a magnificent soul having a human experience, a soul far greater and more extraordinary than you had ever allowed yourself to believe. The awakening they triggered within you goes far beyond the realms of love or relationships. It is a powerful reminder and invitation to remember who you truly are beneath all the layers of conditioning, societal expectation, and self-doubt that have accumulated throughout the years. They have shown you that you are capable of being passionate, creative, courageous, authentic, and vibrantly alive in ways you either forgot or never fully knew existed. This awakening is not meant to depend on their continued presence in your life. Rather, it is meant to be fully integrated into your being so that you can carry this newfound vitality, awareness, and aliveness into every part of your existence, enriching everything you do. Jung believed that certain encounters are destined not in the sense of fate or predetermined outcomes, but in the sense that they are absolutely necessary for the evolution of consciousness itself. Your soul called this person into your life because it was ready for the next stage of your development. You would reach the limits of who you could become while remaining confined within your old ways of being and existing. This person appeared to break open those confines to show you that you are capable of so much more than you had ever imagined possible. And often, the reason you cannot be with them is simply that the work they came to do in your life is complete. They have awakened you to your own potential, revealing what you are truly capable of feeling and being at the deepest level. Now, the next crucial step is for you to take full responsibility for that awakening, to consciously integrate this profound shift into your everyday life, and to fully embody the person they helped you remember you could become. If you were to be with them now, you might find yourself tempted to remain dependent on their presence for that sense of aliveness. Rather than courageously claiming it as your own power and birthright, the universe operates through a kind of perfect, mysterious intelligence, one that often surpasses the understanding of our rational minds. What may initially feel like a loss, a heartbreak, or a bitter disappointment is often in truth a graduation. It is a promotion, an invitation to ascend to the next level of your spiritual and emotional development. The person you cannot be with has completed their role in your life. They have successfully awakened you to your own magnificence, your unique brilliance. And now, it is your sacred responsibility to honor that awakening by living it fully. Living. It means embodying that new awareness, expressing it authentically, and allowing it to influence every area of your life, your relationships, your work, your creative pursuits, and your daily choices. This does not mean erasing their memory or pretending they never mattered. On the contrary, it means understanding that their significance transcends the personal level. Their impact on your soul is far greater than any single relationship could ever contain. They have become a permanent fixture in your inner landscape, a lasting, a luminous reminder of what you are capable of when you are fully alive, raw, and authentic. They have shown you a way of being that you can now bring into every interaction, every connection, and every moment you experience. The love you feel for them has become a powerful lesson in self-love, teaching you to recognize and honor the magnificent being that you are beneath all doubt and fear. The passion they ignited within you has opened your eyes to what it means to be truly engaged with life, to show up fully and without reservation. The deep connection you experience with them has reminded you that you are capable of profound intimacy, not just with another person, but with existence itself. These precious gifts belong to you now, whether or not they remain a part of your external life. They came to awaken you, and without a doubt, they have succeeded. So the question now becomes, what will you do with this awakening? How will you honor the profound transformation they have catalyzed within you? How will you choose to live your life in a way that truly reflects the magnitude of what you have discovered about yourself through knowing them? The answer to these questions will ultimately determine whether their presence in your life remains a beautiful memory or whether it becomes a genuine, life-altering transformation that changes everything about how you move through the world. The person you cannot be with has given you the greatest gift imaginable. They have reminded you of who you truly are. Now, it is your moment to your sacred calling to become that person fully and completely. Whether they are there to witness it or not,